Well, as we mentioned, we have a guest with us today. His name is David Jowie, and he is with the organization OTZMA. And the reason he is here with us today is because we've had an increase in anti-Semitism over the over the last 10 years probably, but more recently, especially with all the bomb threats that were coming in, and we did supposedly catch the perpetrator. We didn't, but a combination of United States, Israel, and other countries found the perpetrator, and hopefully that is the one, and the bomb threats are gone. But of course, it's always important to be vigilant and to make sure that vigilant, to make sure that we're being aware and we're doing the right things to make sure that we can keep ourselves safe. As a matter of fact, not only in the Jewish community, just recently we had arson at one of our local mosques in Tampa, and so this is not just for the Jewish community, it is for everybody. But let me introduce our guest, David Jowie. He's a practicing international attorney, licensed with both the French and Israeli bar associations, and he offers over 15 years of increasingly responsible experience advising governmental institutions and others. So, David Jowie, welcome to the Sunday Simcha.
Well, thank you so much, Shlomo. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
All right, so I think the first thing we need to do is explain to people what OTZMA is.
So, yeah, OTZMA, I mean, you've outlined it very well in your introduction. OTZMA is an organization that was created to deal with a phenomenon that's been picking up in the last few years over different continents. We deal with empowerment and awareness for Jewish communities in the face of the rise of anti-Semitism worldwide. We operate out of Israel. We were created by a group of former IDF and security professionals. And we've taken that knowledge and we use it to train communities everywhere and help them develop tools to deal with these threats and these problems. We've been active for a long time in Europe now, as I'm sure your listeners know about the situation in some European countries today. And we've brought some of these tools across the pond now to try to bring them to communities in the USA. And we're very happy to hear that awareness is something that's going up within the Jewish community, and we're happy to help in that regard.
Well, you know, you've heard the term see something, say something, but a lot of people may not be sure they're even seeing something. So can you share with us some of the things that we can look out for that might be suspicious, that might make us say, maybe I should say something?
Absolutely. First of all, it's something that we train in, and that we teach over long hours. But we've all had an example that you can relate to by what you've seen in the press and you spoke about earlier today. We've had multiple bomb threats within different Jewish community organizations that have led to evacuations. Now, if you take a step back, you can begin to see a pattern that might be copied by other people with even more nefarious intent than the ones that were caught in recent days. Which means that you have signs that people are checking to see how communities react to different threats. And perhaps that's something that we need to start to talk about more. We need to start looking outwards more. On a smaller level, when it's going to shul, it's keeping an eye out for anything out of the ordinary, for that one car that drives by more than once and slows when it's in front of the gate. It's for people whose dress code is not in sync with the weather outside, the big jacket when it's when it's a warm summer day.
Which is practically every day here in Florida.
You guys are lucky, but I can relate to that coming from Israel. So.
Yeah.
But there are signs and there are signals. The bottom line is we want to teach people to get back in tune with their gut instinct. You know that little voice that sounds off every once in a while and says something's out of the ordinary? Our societies teach us to rationalize that away and to say, no, it's nothing. It's just me, and I'm paranoid. We want people to sort of listen to that voice and communicate amongst each other. You start a dialogue with a bunch of the congregants going towards shul that have all picked up on something, you're already a step forward towards making yourself and your family safer.
So I understand that your organization goes to, one of the things that you do as far as training is you go to different shuls and synagogues and get the whole congregation there so you can train a whole bunch of people in the community at the same time. Is that correct?
That's absolutely true. Our fundamental belief is that security and safety, they are not something to be remitted into the hands of a bunch of trained professionals who stand outside. They are the responsibility of every single member of the community. Just like I am responsible for the well-being of my children when they are at home, I am responsible for the safety of my brethren in the congregation whenever I'm in shul. And our objective is to bring in to organize workshops for shuls or for groups of shuls or for communities, JCCs, and any other Jewish organization, bring people in and give them that basic awareness, those basic tools that will allow them to anticipate, to prevent, to coordinate better with those that are in charge of their security, to know when to talk to the rabbi and when to call the police and when to go to their trained security team, and will make them compliant and efficient in case of a crisis in listening to the orders of those who are in charge of their safety.
Now, obviously, this is an organization that caters to the Jewish community. Do you do this for other members of the community? I mentioned that that one of our mosques recently here had an arson situation. Do you train people in other religious institutions or other institutions at all?
You were absolutely right in pointing out that this is not a situation that is specific to the Jewish community, although anti-Semitism, I believe, is something that's very specific to Jews. But you're right that these situations do not concern only us. They are very much a universal phenomenon, and we are happy to bring our knowledge to anyone that needs it, to any innocents that are in need. We are there for them as well. We are a Jewish organization. We are a Zionist organization in the sense that we believe that the skills that we have developed in Israel must be brought out to our brother and sister communities all across the world. But in saying that, there is a universal aspect to what we do, and we are happy to bring it to anyone who needs it.
Okay, and of course, this is what you do is you train, and you certainly can't give our listeners a full breadth of everything that you do in 20 minutes. But I want to jump to we were talking about if things to look for to see if maybe we should say something and being more in tune with your intuition. What happens if we see something and it's starting to develop? And there's no time left to say something to anybody, and you're about to potentially be in a situation. Are there steps that can be taken at that point?
There are steps that can be taken at any step along the way, and we codify different situations, depending on how clear and present the danger is. The situation that you're describing is what I would call the last resort. It's too late to anticipate. The problem is there, and it's upon you. It's a situation you don't want to be in. It's a situation that can be avoided if you're just, with your head up and looking around and taking mitigating steps early on. But if that's what it's gotten to, absolutely. Anyone and everyone should apply basic measures according to who they are and what they can do and how trained they are. For people who have self-defense training, and it can help out to neutralize a threat actively, then perhaps they should do that. Although I'm always remiss to throw that out on the radio because I don't want to put people in danger.
Of course not.
For others, it can be something simple like calling 911 or alerting other people to the danger, moving away from where the danger is transpiring, and avoiding other people and creating a perimeter that avoids other people coming too close. There's any number of things you can do. At the end of the day, an attacker is working under what we call tunnel vision. They are focused on a single target. And if you break their focus from that, if you move the target away or if you put something in their way and so on, you're gaining time that eventually can save lives.
Well, if you're just tuning in, we're speaking with David Joey. Joey?
That's right.
Okay. That's spelled worse than mine.
Well, we the French, we have a bizarre way of dealing with grammar.
So should I say Joey?
You could say Joey, absolutely.
All right. David is with OTZMA. And David, if people are interested in learning more about your organization and what they can maybe do for the community, where would they find you?
So you can definitely look us up on our website at OTZMAselfdefense.com. That's OTZMA selfdefense.com. And there you'll have all the information to contact us and look at what we do. Obviously, we're also present on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and what have you.
What have you? Is that a new one?
Yeah, it's just out. We try to keep in with the times.
Also, for anyone who is not aware, Z is Z.
Correct.
Over here in the States.
I thought about saying that, and I'm thinking, no, I think everyone knows what Z is, but you're right. They probably, what's that? So,
Fair enough.
Yes. Okay, so we've only got you for just a little bit more time. You actually do some training also with some self-defense. Like if you do get, you mentioned that if people are trained properly, that maybe there's some things that they can do that those that are not trained wouldn't want to even attempt. So do you provide self-defense type training?
Absolutely. Our self-defense type training is integrated into all of our workshops. Every single one of our instructors is a certified self-defense instructor with a military and or security background from Israel. And the reason we integrate self-defense is twofold. First of all, because, as we mentioned, sometimes you didn't take the right mitigating steps in advance and you're stuck in a confrontational situation, and the only way to survive is to fight. So we're aware of that and we teach that. And the other reason is, in teaching self-defense, we are also instilling a mindset of resilience and of empowerment that will help you with your preliminary stages of awareness and analysis. So self-defense is very much part of what we do. It's not the end game, but it's very important.
All right. Well, is there anything specifically you want to tell our listeners that maybe we haven't touched upon that your organization can do to help? And I certainly am going to be looking into your organization for our community because I think it's very important. But what else that we may not have mentioned do you provide for people?
Well, Shlomo, the extent of the applications to our programs can be much broader than the specific safety and security situations of a community. When we talk about empowerment and mental preparedness and quick decision-making under duress, which are really the core of what we do, these are things that we've applied and continue to teach to business people, to professional athletes, to any number of other settings. We have a special program for medical personnel and how they manage crisis and emergency situations. But all that being said, we will tailor it to whatever your needs are and however you need to apply them. And in that respect, we're very happy to come to you in Tampa, Shlomo, and to work with you guys. We're looking forward to it.
All right. Well, it's unfortunate. No offense, but it's unfortunate that an organization such as yours even needs to exist. But that is the world we are living in today, and there's always been anti-Semitism, and it seems to wax and wane. Right now, we're definitely seeing a spike in it, as well as just a lot of hatred in the world. And if there's something that can be done about that and make people feel more comfortable and better, and have the ability to possibly stop something like that from happening in their neighborhoods, I think it's a wonderful thing. So I want to thank you, David, for being here on the show with us today and sharing with us briefly some of the things that people should know. And once again, if anyone's interested in finding out more about you, please tell us once again your website.
Thank you so much. So our website is OTZMA Self-Defense, OTZMA selfdefense.com. And I pray for the day where I can kick up my feet and move my attention to other problems. But until then, you can be sure we'll be here for you.
David, thank you so much for being with us, and we will speak to you soon.
My pleasure.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, you are listening to the Sunday Simcha here on 88.5 FM. Hopefully you took something away from that, and more importantly, maybe you should check them out. Could save some lives.
And I just briefly was looking at their website, and they actually have an OTZMA ambassador program. So if you already have some self-defense training and feel like you might want to be an OTZMA ambassador in the community, yet another reason to check out their website.